Welcome to the Persona 5 Episode 1 anime review. So, before jumping into this, Logan never played Persona. Know anything about Persona? Me? I am a huge Persona fan. As you can see, I have the Morgana plush back there. The legs of that poster are to a Persona Q poster. To my right, I have Persona 4 Dancing All Night poster. And I'm pretty sure I have more Persona stuff laying around. But So,
Right.
as
I
always,
know
though, no
literally
spoilers.
nothing.
Yeah, so no spoilers for those who don't come from the video games. And other than that, we're going to discuss the episode and give our scores at the end.
Right. Because you said it's okay to watch because they're separate stories, right?
No, it's the
Persona.
same story from the game. It's
No, no,
just,
but I mean like from 4 to 5.
oh yeah, each game is completely new characters, completely different stories. There is a reference in Persona 5 in this episode actually to a Persona 4 character, but I don't know where the time frames are between 4 and 5. Like 3 and 4, there's like 15, 20 years between those two, or something like that,
Okay.
because they mention it in Persona Q. But Persona 5, yeah, I don't know what the time frame is from it, but it is completely different cast, completely different story. The only thing that's like somewhat the same is the Velvet Room, which you got with Igor for a little bit. Um, but
Okay.
we'll get into that. There's only like a couple similarities, but other than that, they're separate.
All right. Let's dive on
So
in.
we start off basically the same way as the games. The animation follows kind of like the game line. So you have Joker and his crew. The main character, Joker, is Ren. They call him Ren. In the video games, he doesn't actually have like a name for him because that's you. Um, so I'm just gonna refer to him as Joker. I'm not gonna use their in name of Ren. Just
Okay.
just to give you a heads up, and everyone else a heads up. But so yeah, obviously he's on his mission to capture something that they don't really go into it yet. So I'm gonna try keeping this as spoiler free as possible without actually giving things away. It'll be hard at times. But it leads to him getting captured and taken to the interrogation room, which this is where the unique point is of the stories. Him telling the whole story to Najima, the girl there. So everything that's happening now is in the past, and the present is him in the interrogation room.
Okay. That makes sense.
So as you know, she asked him about the other world during the interview, which you get at the end, what that other world is. They
Yeah.
don't explain what that other world represents yet. So there are definitely going to be questions for you. That's
I
what you
do kind
probably
of have
have.
some questions. Yeah.
Um, they show a little bit of a flashback about why he transferred. You see him, the guy and the girl, and then the police show up. Um, they do actually really quick in this. They don't really go in. They don't really discuss it at all about why he got transferred. Um, they just talked about it a little bit with Sojiro taking him in. So he lives basically in a restaurant throughout this whole
Yes.
time and
I
going to
yeah.
school. Um, and
I saw that part. That's a nice dude. What a nice fellow.
he is a nice guy, actually. Really
He's like,
nice.
I'll let you stay here. Don't mess anything up, though. I swear to God.
Well, it's his life now. And by taking in a delinquent, as he calls him, uh, next episode they'll probably go into it a little bit. So I'm not going to explain exactly what happened in that little weird flashy scene.
Right.
Um,
What do you mean the scene with Wait, what scene did you just say?
it was the little flashback. It kind of like hazy and quick, where like it has a guy and then an older woman, and then he
Oh
goes
yeah,
up and
yeah,
grabs
yeah.
the
I already know
guy
what
from
you're talking
behind.
about. Yeah,
It didn't really show the full scene though. It showed the
right.
police show up.
Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
There was
and
like no context. You're just like,
yeah,
what happened here?
you,
I don't
the
know. I
context
mean,
will
you
be
know,
in
I don't
next
know.
episode. I guarantee it, because he'll
Right.
talk about it with Ryuji.
Yeah.
Um, on the train though, there is a reference to a Persona 4 character, Naoto, who's a detective. The detective in this show though is Akechi, which they were talking about on the train, the famous detective who's still in high school.
Ooh, yeah.
Uh, Basically, the magic of Persona is all the side characters and building the relationships and bonds with them, because that's kind of like how you get stronger. that's like one of the weaknesses I've always felt in the animes from before. So side characters build ups. You do see side characters that pop up throughout the episode, like the Dr. Takami, but you're obviously not gonna know who they are. So you're
Right.
not gonna notice their little cameos.
Every character is new to me.
But most of it comes towards the end. Obviously, we see the subway accident. That guy is kind of like hazed out. The
Yeah, that was odd.
yes,
He also
uh,
had a that odd like dream thing.
yes, the odd dream. Are you talking about the one he goes into the Velvet Room with Igor?
Yeah, the one with like the big nose guy.
Yeah, that's Igor.
Sorry, I'm bad with names on the first episode.
Yeah, well that I know the names because I've played 500 hours plus of Persona. Okay, I've played them all. I've played them. Igor's the one consistent from one to one, the Velvet Room, which is where they get their personas, which you
Ooh,
see at the very end
title.
when he when he awakens. But obviously, we get a little bit about the subway accident because uh, Nijima, she was talking with him in the interrogation room. She shows him the calling card because he's part of the Phantom Thieves, which you probably picked up on as they call them Phantom Thieves. Uh, and that's where it starts going into his story about the teacher, the gym teacher.
Yeah.
Um, but at first we get the little glimpse of him. He gives on a ride. She's the girl from the school with him when they're out in the rain. Uh, then he meets up with Ryuji, who doesn't like that teacher at all, and they kind of cut it out. The reason they were going down that alley when they entered the palace is because he was taking them a shortcut to the school. Um,
Okay.
that's why they kind of went on a weird ass path to begin with. And then the app obviously awakens this other world that they can go into.
Right. I picked up on that the app is very because there's a little thing at the earlier in the episode with the app and that big blue thing,
Yes,
which later I find out is like part of him.
it's his persona.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Is it like his power?
It's a small part of his power. He's special because he's the MC of the game, so obviously he has to be special as opposed to the other characters on that team. Uh, you'll see what makes him special soon. They'll probably bring it up in episode 3 or 4, I would guess. But they enter the palace. Obviously, there's a lot of guards there. This is basically a parallel world. It's not well, not a parallel world. It's like another dimension, but it
That's what
affects
I
people.
picked
It
up
affects
on.
people in the real world.
Can like is this spoilers? Can everyone go to it?
No.
It just have to be certain people? Is it like people with personas, I'd
Um,
assume?
it's not that cut and dry. It's like anybody can have that cognition. It's called a cognitive world. Basically, it's part of their cognitions. It's like kind of gets deep in that. It's not like spoilers or anything, but people, most people will probably have one, but not anybody can enter it.
Okay.
Because like as you can see, the world they go into belongs to that gym teacher, who for
Yeah.
some reason I can't remember his name. He's a piece of shit. That's why. Uh, not Kamoshida. That's it, Kamoshida. Yeah. So he's very
He has a
elegant.
nice outfit.
he's like, who needs the clothes under? You just need not even a full robe, just like a half robe,
Like
a speedo on, and you're good to go.
some sparkly robe, little crown, little tiny crown.
And obviously, you can see that he has some beef with Ryuji as he's going to execute him.
Straight up kill him. Jesus Christ.
But Joker is getting ready to awaken. He actually ends the episode with him awakening to his
Yeah.
persona, Arson. Um, it's like it's arson, but like arson. It's like a little emphasis on the sin part. But
Yeah.
That is
Hmm.
essentially the episode of them just going into this world. You have any
Right.
questions in there that I could
I
look?
mean,
I just want to
there's
know from your perspective, since obviously it's not opened up as well, I think, to anime viewers.
right. I feel like I don't know if it's Is it intentionally made for like the video game?
Yeah.
Kind of,
Well,
kind of like
here's
Dice
what's
Area.
special about Persona anime is it's voice acted by the same people that do the video game voice acting, which
That's
is
pretty
why
neat.
their dubs I think are actually good because it's the same characters that you played hundreds of hours with, so they know those characters. Because it's not like
Right.
um,
It is interesting. I feel like hopefully no one's too mad that I haven't played the game and I'm watching. Like, why would you do that?
no, this is perfect because we get
But
non-video game player perspective.
right, obviously there's lots of questions because it's just a bunch of new stuff. But I feel like if I wait a bit, I'll learn about them.
Oh, yeah. A lot of it's gonna come into like episodes 3 and 4, if I were to guess. Episode 2, you'll get a little more about Ryuji, about the personas, and about the world they're in is called a palace. So that's Kamoshida's palace that they're in. So you'll get more about that.
Right. But it was
And
interesting.
because it's
I'll
so
say that.
yeah, because you'll be jumping from present time to past time as he's telling the story to Najima,
Right.
and they'll have a lot of characters to introduce. Like at the
I'll
very
have to,
end, actually, Morgana pops up and just says, "What the?" or something like that. I think that's all he says at the very end.
I'll have
And
to write
Morgana's
down
that
all these
cat right
names.
there, just to let you know. Look, that cat is Morgana.
But I mean, oh, that's it. That's the first episode.
Yeah, I'll let you give the score first, just because
Okay, that makes
it's a
sense.
little unique.
It's kind of
Obviously, I
hard
think
to
it's gonna be
score.
different between us two.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to score because I always have struggles with first
Yeah, first
episodes.
episode's always like a setup episode. It's like that's how
Right.
I
I'll give
always look
it
at first episode as does it do its job? Does it intrigue you? Does it set up the world? Does it set up the story? And that's how I judge first episodes.
right. I'll give it like 7.5 to 8ish
Ooh.
because like it did intrigue me, but it gave me lots of questions. I'm like, oh, this app. Well, throughout I'm like, what's that thing popping up? What's this app doing? Like, where he just like went into another dimension? Like, he's well, you said he's awakening. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what's happening here? There's lots of questions. It was intriguing at first, so it like sparked my curiosity. I'll have to wait. I have to see how everything gets fleshed out coming from a no no knowledge of anything. So I'm interested. I'll see. I'm excited for next episode. I hope they do explain stuff.
No, this is kind of
Just
actually how it starts out in like most of the games. Is with a lot of questions and you get answers as you go.
right. Well, I
Obviously
mean,
though,
I've there's
it's
some
obviously
other
going to be
anime that
different
started
because
this
a
way.
game will last you like 120 hours easy, and it's being
Right.
condensed a lot down. And they have to cut some times out of it. Like Persona holds a special place in my heart. Persona 3 was like the first game that actually like affected me a lot, like really changed me personality wise, and actually pulled me out a little bit of my depression back in end of high school. It actually had a lot of effects on me. So it always has a special place in my heart. And Persona 5 was great, and I love this anime. The first episode I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it does exactly what it needs to do for a first episode, and the characters, as everyone will find out, are fucking awesome. So I'm a little bit biased in all these reviews, but
Oh,
I'm just gonna
maybe,
throw that
just
out there.
maybe,
Just a
just
bit.
maybe.
Just just a tad bit, not too biased, but super biased. But that
But that's
yeah,
it.
so yeah, an 8.
So give us the spiel.
As always, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified every time we upload. Comment down below, let us know what you thought about the episode, what you didn't like, maybe if you were haven't played the video game, or if you have, anything like that. Just don't spoil it for anybody coming in that hasn't played the game. Our Twitch links are in the description below. And until next time, peace out.
See you.